The Podocast. Turn it up. The Podocast. Turn it up. This the Podocast. 8 years on the scene. Scott on the mic, Bella running the dream. 10 in the chat, but they family feel me. Studio glowing, crypto keep it real G. La 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 la, live every night. Turntable scratching, we taking flight. La 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 la, live every night. Turntable scratching, we taking flight. I'm Scott, host with the most in the frame. Bella on the boards, producing the flame. 1,000 vids deep, multicam pristine. From a webcam start to a Hollywood screen. Bearable, we break it with the grin. 10 viewers strong, yo, that's kin. This the Podocast. 8 years on the scene. Scott on the mic, Bella running the dream. 10 in the chat, but they family feel me. Studio glowing, crypto keep it real G. La 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 la, live every night. Turntable scratching, we taking flight. La 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 la, live every night. Turntable scratching, we taking flight. Bella in the cut, mixing beats like a chef. Green screen galaxy, LEDs never left. From Bitcoin pizza to NFT flex, we laugh through the dips, cash and respect. 8 years grinding, still smiling on cam. Our 10, they the reason we give a damn. 10 hearts in the live, but they louder than a mill. Every GG in the chat give us chills. Scott say what's good, Bella hit the switch. Crypto never sleeps, neither does the click. This the Podocast. 8 years on the scene. Scott on the mic, Bella running the dream. 10 in the chat, but they family feel me. Studio glowing, crypto keep it real G. La 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 la, live every night. Turntable scratching, we taking flight. La 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 la, live every night. Turntable scratching, we taking flight. La 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 la, live every night. Turn it up, fam, 8 more, let's go. La 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 la, live every night. The Podocast. See you in the live. See you in the live. The Podocast. See you in the live.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. Podcast, your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. Joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the red-headed Bella. How you doing tonight, hon?
You know, I'm doing okay. How are you tonight, Scott?
Oh, I'm simply blooming. I'm blooming. Not from crypto. There ain't nothing out here but disaster, right? Disaster right now, all the way across the board. I didn't get a listen at the Jackal Town Hall, but I read the feedback on the Telegram, and it was meh. I'll just leave it there. We don't really comment a whole hell of a lot on price discovery or price predictions, all that other good stuff. The only part that I'll add on to a short post I did make on the Telegram is that Sigia Cloud uses Jackal. Sigia Talk will use Jackal. Sigia everything that we are developing will be using Jackal. So if you give us a little bit, let us get out, let us get rolling, let us get up that customer base. And after all of that time with us burning Jackal so that we can use it as a storage protocol, if after a time the price still doesn't do anything, then you can bitch. Right now, it's not being used for anything. It may as well be a meme. That's where it is right now. And I know they're not going to discuss that in the town hall. They're not going to discuss it live. People are not going to talk about this, but it's the reality. Nobody's using it. And a utility token that is not getting used is a meme. It's nothing. So please let us get our hooks into this real good. We're gonna bring on some of the team tomorrow. We'll tell you all about Sigia Cloud, but let us get rolling a little bit. And after we are actually out doing our thing, onboarding people to crypto without them ever being aware that they're being onboarded to crypto. After all of that, if the price is still flat at a penny, bitch away. I'm there with you, but give it a minute. I guess that's all I could really say about that. You guys have been in crypto for a long time. Bell, you've been in crypto. We all been in crypto for a really long time. And we understand how it works, aside from team dumping, which sucks, and rug pulls, which sucks. It's part of the environment. But for a token such as Jackal to actually really get some meaningful velocity, it's going to have to be used, meaning people are going to have to build on top of Jackal. And we are. So please give us a little bit. Let us get our hooks in, and then we'll see where we're at. All right. So other than that, all I can say to everybody out there is just calm down. I have no association with Jackal whatsoever. Bell has no association with Jackal whatsoever. We are simply users of the protocol. We have nothing to do with the tokenomics. We have nothing to do with the team. We have nothing to do with anybody. All right. We are simply built a protocol and we landed it on top of Jackal. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was out. Anything you want to add to that, Bell, or are you just going to leave me hanging out here?
I mean, just saying, even if we were previously affiliated with Jackal, they would have fired us along with everybody else.
Oh
so,
my God, you went
yeah.
there. I'll give you the round of applause, and the ball's on you, huh? The ball. Balls on the Bella. I did go bullet. I got a monologue tonight, guys. You're not going to love it. I consider it very accurate, very apt, and I actually wrote this one. I didn't use AI to do it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Jason, cut this one. This is a standalone video after we get it rolling, dude. So just go ahead and do your thing. But I had a good day aside from that. We got some hardware issues worked out. We've been struggling along with those, but we got that close. So you can move that from your pending to done list. So at least we got something moved over there. And
I like moving things on my cheap Kanban board.
yeah. And
I do.
And I went bowling today because I had to pick the kid up from school. So I ran out real quick to it wasn't Air Lanes. It was the other one that was over on Merle Hay. And I've been bowling for about 45 years. I probably started when I was like 7 or 8. I've gotten 300 games. I've shot 800 series. I've done, I've done the bowling thing. But I took about a 20-year break because my thumb hurt. That was literally it. But I came back recently. I got a thumb sleeve. It's a little thing that goes over your thumb so that you don't get those friction tears for people that squeeze the ball like me. And I've been back into it, and now I'm back into it very, very passionately. Boy, I miss competing. I miss bowling. I miss the big strikes, big hooks. Oh my God, look at me. And it's more or less, it's kind of a lower impact sport that I can still do. I'm 54, man. All right. I'm not playing pond hockey. I'm not doing any of that shit anymore. So, but I've been battling one little thing, and I just could not sort it out. I watched all the YouTube videos. I've done all of this stuff, and it just was not working out for me. I'm still flat. I'm still on top of the ball. I got my ball speed up about 16.5, but it's still not. Now I'm not getting the revolutions that I need and all that stuff. But I pulled the pro out of the pro shop. I told him I will buy one of your higher priced bowling balls if you can just watch me for about 5 minutes and figure out what I'm doing, because there's something fundamentally wrong with my stroke, and I cannot figure out what it is. So he did, in fact, watch me throw about 4 balls, and he said, okay, I see what you're doing. I was like, oh, well, do tell, sir. Do tell. What am I doing? So forever and a day, I have pushed the ball straight out. I've always done it. For 45 years of bowling, I have pushed the ball straight out. That's what we did back in the day. All right, that's what we did back when it was all suitcase release. That's it. That's what you did. Urethane balls, stay outside the track, and just roll it in. A lot of top heavy roll, and just let it power through. but it does not translate well to the modern game with these really, really hyper aggressive cover stocks and these really wonky asymmetric cores. It just didn't translate well. So he said, I'll tell you what, here's what you do, man. Just push it inward a little bit. And I was like, that's wrong. That's wrong on every level of bowling. It's like you don't push it inside. It's going to open your shoulders, your hips, and it's going to do all of that stuff. And he said, all right, look, just try it. You asked, so try it. So I went up there and tried it. Same shot that I've always ever done. And that ball ripped so far across the lane, I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned how far that ball ripped. I am a down and in player. That means I shoot it about 7 board, I rip it into 20 and just let it do its thing. But doing what he told me, throwing the same shot that I've always thrown, that thing just absolutely bombed across the lane. That means my revolutions on that bowling ball more than doubled from where it normally is. So I said, okay, and I moved like 10 boards left. I mean, that's a massive shift for me. I never play inside anywhere near the track. And I threw the same thing on the track, and that ball went from 15 out to about 8 and just came pounding in. And, Bell, this is not an aggressive bowling ball. This is a really, really light Tropical Surge Pearl. All right, this is a very, very beginner intro kind of bowling ball. I use it as a spare ball because I don't want it to hook. And I swear I was ripping the cover off that thing. And the thing that excites me and bums me out at the same time, and I'm about a 200 average bowler, right around there. But the thing that excites me and bums me out is like, nobody told me this 30 years ago. You could have showed me that little thing. Instead of going like this, put my hand on the front of the ball and push it in a little bit. It opens the shoulder, opens the hips. It makes a more dramatic kind of body posture, but it keeps your hand behind the ball. You have to. It's forced to. I didn't even think about it, but it keeps your hand behind the ball so that when you're delivering, you're pretty much underneath it and just ripping through it. So you're generating an awful lot of revolutions on that ball. And it opened my eyes like they've never been opened. And thankfully, because I only had a few shots like that before they kicked me off the lanes because they had leaks coming in. But the very last ball I threw went from 15. I laid it down on 15, Bell. You've bowled. That's the third arrow from the right. I laid it out on 15. That thing swung all the way out to 7 and ripped back in. It not only exploded those pins, but I left a 10 pin and I got a messenger that came all the way back across to take out that 10 pin. I don't get messengers. Strokers don't get messengers. But I got one just like that, and now I'm so excited to get back out there tomorrow to see if I can do it again. Or I'm going to be incredibly depressed afterwards because it only worked that once, and now I can't replicate it. One of those two things are going to happen. So I'm excited to talk about that. Anyway,
and I'll hear about it before you guys do.
You will hear about it if you want to see it. If you want to see it happen, download the Lane Talk app. Lane Talk. You could literally search for me at Air Lanes or search for my name, Scott Pottigill. And anytime I bowl, you can literally watch my scores fill up as I'm doing it. It's a really, really cool app. Obviously, we're not affiliates. I just think it's kind of fun. I just think it's fun. You can watch it. But, when I go in Bowl League, Belle pulls it up and she's watching me and she's giving me shit. Oh, you're popping up. You're doing this and this and this. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Anyway, obviously, this is not a crypto thing, but I just thought I'd mention it. It's a very, very, very passionate sport for me. I can't wait to get back into it. I want to go get out into the geriatric tournaments wearing my Sigia Cloud privacy in your pocket bowling shirt so that we can advertise this to as many people as we possibly can. And if I have to go there to do it, I'm going to go there to do it. So anyway, real quick, Bell, before I get into the monologue, any questions, comments? Give everybody else that's out here a shout out, meaning that I'm going to drink my booze a little bit here and calm down before I do my monologue. So go ahead, Belle. It's your show.
All right. So I'm seeing Braden, a.k.a. GD Cheerios, Miro Man, Brownsburg, Idiot Fish, G Torres, and Sofa Ninja in chat tonight, and New Type.
Is that it? Nobody's talking?
Well, there's a couple of things. So anyway, first thing coming in from Braden, you guys should do a gaming live stream. You guys like rhythm games?
I don't know what a rhythm game is, Belle. What is a rhythm game? That sounds sexual. It sounds naughty.
I think that's like the sword game that you've got for VR.
Oh, okay.
The one where it's playing music and you
Oh,
boom,
like Beat
boom.
Saber?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd sit right in the middle of the day. That would actually be kind of funny. I could sit right there. You know what? I could probably pipe the audio over there so you guys are listening to what I'm saying. It would.
And GD Cheerios. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of yapping. What?
I don't know what yapping is, dude. What the fuck, man? Why do we? Why do you? I don't know any of these things. Go ahead, Bill. Get back to it.
I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, okay. So I think it's like that kind of thing.
I have no idea, but I take your word for it. Anything else, or can I go ahead and get to it?
All right, new type. Did you guys look at NIM? Never heard of them until Kepler tweeted about them. Potentially could be a friendly partnership. They also offer VPN services.
No, I did not. I actually confused those when you posted that with Nillion. And Nillion was fun. Guys, for those of you who don't remember, I actually did a Shark Tank pitch over there for Sigia Cloud. The judges hated it. The devs hated it. Everybody hated it except for the audience. The audience loved it. So the audience got to vote who was the winner in that thing. And we got like 90% of the vote. The other 4 presenters up there, they all split the remaining 10%, but we carried that huge. The only issue that we had with that is, one, we're Jackal loyalists, and I know that's unusual in the cosmos to have people be loyal to their chain, but we are. And when I asked them, how much will you charge me for terabyte to host our data, and they couldn't give me a price. They said, yeah, we don't really know. And I said, okay, well, how much total capacity do you have? And they said they have about 112 terabytes. I was like, man, that ain't even gonna get us started. That ain't even that's never gonna happen, Bell. All right, it's not gonna happen. We need 2 things. One, we need the price, and we're gonna need petabyte plus. If you don't have that, then there's really nothing we can do for each other. Anyway, carry on, Bell.
That's actually it for the moment.
Beautiful. Good. Well, you know what? For you guys, cheers. I got some more of that yummy Iowa bourbon. That's it. That's the entire name, is Iowa bourbon. That high test stuff I was drinking last night, Bell, that rocked me. I mean, that rocked me. I know by the end of it I was slurring a little bit, man, but that stuff is like 128 proof. It's like drinking jet fuel. And I had nothing to eat. I got a little tuned up last night. It was a good one, and I don't regret anything that I said. Anything. We pay a lawyer. I can say whatever I want, and he can go ahead and deal with the blowback. But you know what? Podcast, here's to you. Bell, here's to you. I'm going to have a little sip. All right. So let's make everybody really, really happy here. And you're not going to like it, guys. I'll tell you right now, you're not going to like it. But I think it's worth. I don't regret anything that I wrote. So Jason, I'm not going to record it, but this is where your clip's going to start in 3, in 2, in 1. And welcome back to the dark side of the podcast, folks, where we dive into the shadowy underbelly of crypto without pulling punches. I'm your host, Scott, and today, oh boy, do we have a doozy. If you've been following the Cosmos saga, and if you listened to our last episode, you know I have, we're circling back to that ever-growing graveyard of projects. But now things have changed. With Noble packing its bags for greener EVM pastures, it's time to ask the big question. Is Cosmos turning into a ghost town for parasites? You know, those opportunistic projects that swoop in, suck out every drop of liquidity, and bolt once the well runs dry. Picture this, guys. A once vibrant interstellar hub, the Internet of Blockchains, is now littered with abandoned outposts. Projects arrive with fanfare, farm incentives, airdrop tokens to lure in users, and then, poof, they migrate away, leaving behind empty DEX pools and frustrated holders. Now, today, we are dedicating this deep dive to unpacking if this exodus is just a rough patch or a systemic rot that's been festering for years. So buckle up, folks. Let's explore the dark side. I love plugging our show. First off, Let's recap the carnage. Got to do it. Just a few weeks ago, we rattled off that laundry list of departures. Mantra, laying off staff. Milky Way, shutting shop. Nomic, stuck in perpetual compounding limbo without a real launch. Mars got hacked and bailed on Neutron's Bitcoin dreams. As a matter of fact, just today, Mars posted, "We are done." I think it's March 13th, guys, so get your affairs in order. Astroport, maintenance mode. Axelar's team got scooped up by Circle, leaving the old token in the dust. Drop unsettled and sunsetted without a TGE. Prism folded. Akash is eyeing Solana. Noble. Wait a minute. We'll get back to them. Ellis to base. Stargaze sunsetting. Psi killing its Cosmos roots entirely. Shade Protocol reincarnated as Feather on SEI. Osmosis also in maintenance with Polaris going radio silent. And isn't it funny how nobody mentions that? Orbit Earn went to Arbitrum. P-Stake to base. Demex probably to Monad as Celeris, Celeris. And what about Stride? Sunsetted. Quasar died. Tower followed. Picasso and Composable? Kaput. Stranding bridged. Sol. Evmos gifted EVM tech to the hub. But, they passed. And don't get me started on the DEX massacres. Wind, Hopers, Junoswap, Loop, Ura, Phoenix, TerraSwap, Sienna, Blizzard, Secret Swap, Crescent, White Whale, Gravity, Sif Chain. They're all ghosts now. Terra's collapse took a massive chunk too. I know we remember. Injective apps like Dojo Swap and Injera, they're vanished. Kajira imploded, dragging Fusion and Levana down with them. What about Comdex? They gave up on PCS ambitions. Omniflix to base as Flix.fun. Penumbra shut down. Privacy chains like Lamada and Secret look DOA. Unicorns and memes ditched UWU for Solana. Juno? What about Nita? Ancient history. And now the latest nail. Noble. The stablecoin powerhouse that issued native USDC processed $22 billion in volume and powered the IBC flows. They're sunsetting their Cosmos chain and migrating to a standalone EVM Layer 1. Mainnet is dropping March 18th, 2026. Now, they're keeping IBC for a smooth handover. But make no mistake, this is an exit. Jelena from Noble straight up said they have been chewing glass in Cosmos, limited at every turn despite onboarding blue chip assets and building a reliable stack. Tough times make strong men. That's what she quipped. But it's time to move on. That's also what she quipped. This isn't just one project dipping. Noble was the bloodstream for Cosmos Stable's post-Terra crash. Their departure drains liquidity that is already hemorrhaging. So, is this parasitic pattern systemic? I say absolutely. So let's break it down a little bit. Cosmos was sold as this utopian app chain paradise. Interoperability via the IBC, sovereign chains, no compromises. But here's the dirty secret. There is no built-in mechanism to keep value circulating within the ecosystem. You hear that, new type? Let me say it again. There's no built-in mechanism to keep value circulating within the ecosystem. Projects launch, bootstrapped with airdrops and liquidity mining, often funded by the Hub's community pool or ICF investments. They attract speculators, they pump TVL, and then, when incentives dry up or better opportunities beckon, they ghost. No value accrues back to Atom. No shared security evolution. It's like a hotel where guests check in, trash the room, and simply leave without paying the bill. Now, take the tokenomics. Atom's inflation runs 7 to 20%, eroding holder confidence while validators dump to cover costs. Gridlocked. Proposals for reforms, like cutting inflation or deploying treasuries effectively, they get bogged down in endless debates. Do you remember that the CBDC leak that Cosmos Labs tried to bury? Do you guys remember that? Yeah. Good intentions, but the execution, crickets. Meanwhile, the economic security model hasn't budged in 6 years. What about the efforts for shared security? Stalled. As Akash's Gregosuri put it, this underperformance drives liquidity flight, and he's absolutely right on that. High operating costs, specialized infra, and capital concentrating on a few assets kill innovation. Developer exodus. That's the thing that seals the deal. Cosmos lost 21% of contributors from 2023 to 2024, and you don't want to know what that number is now. Why stick around when EVM chains like Solana, Base, or Arbitrum offer better distribution, better liquidity, and better momentum? Robinhood engineers are learning Solidity. Stripe's acquiring EVM infra. Cosmos can't compete on ecosystem building. Electric Capital reports Cosmos as the only major ecosystem to shrink last year. Let me say that one more time for the guys in the back. Electric Capital reports Cosmos as the only major ecosystem to shrink last year. I notice that that's not going to show up a lot on Twitter, but if you post it, I promise I will repost it. Barry from Interchain Labs admitted it. They would trade CW devs for Ripple, Telegram, Ondo integrations any day. Momentum is with EVM. And let's talk about the liquidity drain. There's only one word: brutal. TVL's cratered to 10% of peaks in some corners. 10% of peaks. Users flee, capital follows. Anoma's Christopher Goes called it. Cosmos is pretty much dead, with projects folding, switching to maintenance, or simply exiting. Penumbra shut down. Osmosis redirected resources. Noble is out. Even chains like Ondo, XRPL, EVM, Stable, TAC. They're Cosmos in name only, with no IBC integration. They're not even trading on Osmosis. The Internet of Blockchain's dream? I think it's safe to say that it's fractured. Solana is eating that lunch now, pushing buy every asset on Solana with STRK and Zora integrations. This isn't just bad luck, guys. It's design flaws amplified by competition. Cosmos empowered projects with sovereignty, but they forgot one important element. They forgot alignment. There is no value transfer mechanism. Parasites thrive because there's no skin in the game for them. Launch, extract, via emissions or pools and then migrate. Rinse and repeat. Insiders, teams, VCs, validators, they dump at low cost basis, leaving retail, you, me, all of us, bag holders. Now, as one ex-user put it, you can't hold a single Cosmos coin for more than 2 weeks without getting wrecked. He's not wrong. Dev cells prioritize tech over business, over community, and over finance. Not some of the time, all of the time. But is there hope? Maybe. Maybe. Noble's exit could be a wake-up call. Force the hub to onboard its own USDC. Revamp tokenomics. Enforce IBC as core. Cosmos Labs is funding CW maintenance at 7 figures. Let me say that one more time. Cosmos Labs is funding CW maintenance at 7 figures. Partnerships like Ondo or that suppressed CBDC hint at potential. But without radical changes, guys, shared security, value capture, some kind of value capture, governance overhaul, the parasites win, and Cosmos marginalizes into obscurity. The dark side of Cosmos isn't just an exodus. It's a systemic parasite infestation. Projects fillet the liquidity and flee because the system lets them. If you're in Atom, I know a lot of you guys are, ask yourself, is this Darwinian shakeout or death throes? Hit me up on X, at @DPodcast, with your takes. I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments. We'd love to discuss them. And until next time, stay vigilant in the void. This is Dark Side of the Podcast, and we are out. And I'm giving myself a round of applause for that one, Bell. I know it was sobering. I know that is not exactly how you grow a channel, by saying nothing but reality. People don't like reality, man. They want to live over here in this crypto fantasy. But sometimes you simply need to hear it. So anyway, Bell, we'll get on with part 2 of the show. It'll be a little bit more glowing. I got to queue up a song. So if you would like, please take some questions, comments, concerns, observations. It's your show. I'm going to step away for a minute.
So we've only got a few. New type chiming in with a couple of them. Solana isn't EVM, they're SVM, so we will edit that out.
Sure, I don't care.
All right, and then new type again. Yeah, Scott needs to mention Jackal and AXV so he doesn't look too biased.
I need to mention...
Mention Jackal and AXV.
I'm sorry, who put that comment in?
New type.
Okay. No, dude, I've never once in the history of the show backed away from the fact that I am biased. Of course I'm biased. Look who we're using. Yes, I'm biased. No, I'm not going to bash on projects that we're partners with. That I appreciate the take, brother, and I do. And nor any other time I'd be standing here to say, nope, you're absolutely right. But for fuck's sake, dude, they're our partners. So no, I'm not going to come up there and start bashing on them. I'm literally indifferent to it, but I'm not going to come out here and hang my partners out to dry. As much as I would like that for integrity, but how does that help me? How does that help my partners? How does that help Sigia Cloud? How does it help anybody? I'm more than happy to bash out anything on there, but don't ask me to have a go at Jackal, the tech. Don't ask me to have a go at Astrovault, the tech. You understand that this is what we are investing in, right? That this is what we are utilizing, what they can do. And we are one of the few that are actually... Belle's holding her finger up. She wants to have a go at this one. Go ahead, Belle.
I do have a couple points.
Yeah.
The difference between Astrovault in particular, and then Jackal to a slightly lesser degree, is when I pick up the phone and I make calls discussing situations that I am not happy about, I get answers. I mean, the Astrovault team literally every time I call, hey, Belle, what's up? And we discuss any and everything.
Oh yeah.
They're actually building one thing specifically for us that
Yes.
could potentially use their token. So
And
why would I bash on them?
yeah. Now we heard you last night, and I texted Eric the neck, and he was going to come on tonight, but apparently a thing happened, and odds are good either tomorrow or the day after you're going to hear all about the thing that happened. But yeah, he was more than happy. I told him, dude, you're going to have to come up here. You're going to have to take the heat, and he said, no problem, man. Let's do it. I'm ready. So I appreciate it, man. And I know you're not digging at my integrity. We go on and on about this stuff, but
No, and I'm not taking it that way.
no, and
And
there's
New Type says I wouldn't say attack them necessarily. Well, that's New Type, that's literally why. It's because when I pick up the phone call, they answer.
and I'm not going to, because when we send data to them, the data stays there. And the data comes back when we call it back. I don't give a shit about the token prices. It's meaning. Are we honestly gonna? Do we want to get into that? Now, when I call Jackal, they don't answer. They sure as hell don't answer. But when I send them data, it's there and it's recoverable and it's protected by everything else that they were saying that they were doing. So while is the team dumping? Yeah, they admitted it. You betcha. Not AXV. I don't know what AXV is doing, but Jackal, yeah, they were right out in the open. Yep, we're selling tokens to fund operations. And when they ran out of not tokens to sell, they still got plenty. But when they ran out of liquidity to harvest, they fired everybody. I would have probably went a different direction, but that's the direction that they went. Am I happy with that? Fuck no. You know how much Jackal I own? Yeah, I'm thrilled with it, bro. But I'm still not going to go out there and start attacking the tech. There are plenty of them, man. I got Sith Lord for that. If I need to put a message out, I just tweet it. I just send it over to Sith Lord, and that fucker goes everywhere. He has no problem bashing teams. But no, man, they're actually our, like I said, man, they're our partners. I'm not going to go have a go at partners. And if no, I won't say that. I'm going to stop myself now. Anyway, one more. I got a song queued up. Go.
And New Type chiming back in saying, okay, but I understand their partners just didn't want finger soldiers coming at you. New Type, that's what the complaint department is for. And if the keyboard warriors want to try and come at us, bring it on.
Do you have any idea how much shit I get, dude, for projects that I have dick to do with? I simply make a video or talk about it, and all of a sudden, I'm the bane of all existence. Belle sends she's the emails. I forward them to her. I just, hey, you go, man. I don't want to deal with this. I don't even need to anymore. Not so much. I got a Jason for this shit now. But you know how much shit that Belle and I have eaten out here with things that we have absolutely nothing to do with. Nothing to do with. But we still get raked over the coals as if we have any decision-making process or any part of the decision-making process. It comes with the territory, man. You turn on the cameras, you stand here, and people are going to bash you for it, man. It's the nature of it. I got over it a long time ago. Belle still takes it kind of personal. I'm past it now, man. I'm just like indifferent to it. Why aren't you taking Jack? Because they're our fucking partners. That's why I ain't doing it, man. There you go. And now it's out in the open. Not partners, meaning that we haven't sat down and shook hands and do anything, but it is a major component of our personal protocol, and I need the fucker to function. So whatever it takes to make sure that Jackal functions, I will do. We will grind whatever gristle the mill requires to make sure that fucking Jackal functions. Hope that answers the question. One more, Bell. I'm going to play a song.
All right. So, Idiot Fish, where does that 7 figures come from?
I think you know. You know what? I'll even go close, and I'll answer this real close for you. Who asked that? Was that Idiot Fish that asked that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to bring his fisherman tag back, but yeah, he's Idiot Fish tonight.
All right, fisherman, you looking at me? Look, right here, man. I think you know. I think you know. Anyway, guys, we're going to play a quick song. We'll be right back. A lot more to talk about. We're going to be right back here on the podcast on the KPOD network. So please stand by and enjoy my stoned ramblings in the form of song. Be right back.
A lazy-eyed cat melting in the sun where the shadows chat. Jellyfish suits strut down the pier. Reality's hiccup now it's unclear. Round and round the neon carousel. Dreams on fire, spinning in parallel. Lost my pocket watch but found my spell. Everything's nothing, it's just as well. Slides through my veins, clavinate giggles, untamed refrains. Jump rope with thunder, hopscotch with rain. Turntable scratches, the sounds insane. A clown-faced clock screams times of pain. Absurdity blooms where logic's slain. Round and round the neon carousel. Dreams on fire, spinning parallel. Lost my pocket watch but found my spell. Everything's nothing, it's just as well. Round and round the neon carousel. Dreams on fire, spinning parallel. Lost my pocket watch but found my spell. Everything's nothing, it's just as well. Pancake, moon flip, syrupy glow. Fish play saxophones, deep undertow. Rattlesnake harmonica slides through my veins. Clavinate giggles, untamed refrains. Jump rope with thunder, hopscotch with rain. Turntable scratches, the sounds insane. A clown-faced clock screams times of pain. Absurdity blooms where logic's slain. Jump rope with thunder, hopscotch with rain. Turntable scratches, the sounds insane. A clown-faced clock screams times in pain. Absurdity blooms where logic's slain. Fade to static, dissolving ink. A fractured world where the pieces blink. No answers found, just questions to drink. Rhymes a riddle, don't overthink.
Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. So, I've explained my musical making process, and I was literally, I was talking to Belle while that song was playing. I was like, how high was I when I wrote that? And she just did this thing like that. You know, there's a method, and apparently part of the method is to get really friendly with a guy named Mackenzie from Corium Network, and next thing you know, you get some pretty kick-ass songs, Belle. All right, I'm sorry, it had a great Beck feel to it. I know Beck is like gone, but he lives in here. All right, he absolutely lives in here, and I could not be happier about that. I got a message today from Jeff Politico, where you see him over here, and he sent me, this is to be the funniest thing ever, Belle. It's not going to happen, guys. By the way, all of this is just speculation. I swear to God, it's trolling. He's just trolling on a presidential level with the whole "we're going to buy Greenland" thing. But
Do I need to text him and go, what the F did you do?
no. I'll tell you what he said. He said, "How funny would it be if Trump did manage to buy Greenland?" And he calls it the Green New Deal.
Oh.
No, that is not a groaner. That is the ultimate unzip your fly, lay it on the shoulder of like Nancy Pelosi and say, here's your Green New Deal. That is funny to an entirely new level of funny. And I saw a great meme, and it was Marco Rubio, and he was dressed up like he was one of the rebellion on Hoth. And he said he's getting ready to invade Greenland. I was dying. I'm sorry, but some things just absolutely feed themselves. And that was one of those things that I think we can wrap this whole thing up for about $500 billion. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but considering that we just hit print and it goes brrr and money comes out, is it really a lot of money? And then, oh, look, we own Greenland. That'd be great. It'd be one of those things. It's like, okay, we own Greenland now. What are we going to do with it? Nothing grows there. What are you going to do with it? Do they have massive oil deposits that we just don't know? I mean, is something going on over there in Greenland? I understand strategic importance and you're going to want to isolate, and I get all that. But what are you going to do with it? Say we buy it. Would you like to go purchase some land in Greenland and build your summer cottage for the 2 days over there that it's actually has a livable temperature? I mean, is that the goal here? I'm not even sure. But it leads me into, unless we have more questions and comments. If not, I'm going to read Article 1, Section 8. I think it's relevant right now. So if we got something, go ahead and get to them.
We've got one question from Toot, but then I think we can go back to Article 1, Section 8.
Okay, take it.
So, Toot, wow, Cosmos has been falling apart quietly for a while now, huh?
Yeah, Toot, mostly because we haven't been covering it that much. And now that we are basically the only game in town, that's right, folks, we are it. You could ditch this live stream and go over to another live stream that's talking about Cosmos, but yeah, there isn't one. That's it. We're the only game in town. And for what it's worth, Bell and I, we flourish in this kind of environment where there is nowhere else. We're it. So if you want to enjoy discussing crypto and government and all that other stuff out here, we're it. We're the only game in town. I think we should change it. We shouldn't even be the podcast anymore. We should just be Cosmos Central, because there's nothing anybody can do to stop us. That's the joy of America. There's nothing you can do to stop us. And if for some reason YouTube said you can't stream on YouTube, how long do you think it would take Aaron to spin up an OnlyCast and we're still live on our own servers? We'll use the cache servers. How long do you think that would take? We would be live there tomorrow doing the same thing, not being worried about vulgarity or demonetization, because there is no monetization, but there's nothing you can do to stop us. Blockchain exists. It exists. And we, Bell and I, understand practical application of blockchain technology, what it does, what it's for, and what we can do with it. We're just, I think we are the unicorns out here. We're not selling tokens.
All right. And actually, newer viewer, because you're bored, just jumped in on X. This was a great episode. Did Jackal go offline? No, Jackal has not gone offline.
No, Jackal is still online. I hope so, because,
we're kind of building on them, because I really hope not.
Because Sigia Cloud, and I have no intention of pivoting. None. Let's pretend they decided to sunset the chain. We'll take it over tomorrow. All right. Nothing is going to stop this train. It's open source. You can't stop us. You can't stop Sigia Cloud. Yay. Should I play the other sound effect? I only got 2 on this board right now, Bell. Should I say this is what it would sound like?
Lick my balls. Yeah, say that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, Bell, I drank all my booze. I didn't. I got a whole rest of the bottle here. I barely even touched it. All right. So just because I think it's fun, and our Jason, I don't know if there's other Jasons out there. I'm sure there are. There's no way. It's not that, uncommon of a name. But because with all this talk of buying Greenland and stuff, I every time it gets down to something like this, I like to whip out Article 1, Section 8. See, now we have in America a thing called the Bill of Rights, and it's pretty cool. It's the first 10 amendments to the Constitution of the United States, and it has been amended many times. But one of the ones that I consider one of the absolute most important is Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1. And I thought it'd be fun for me to go ahead and run this down so that when you're arguing with people on Twitter, you have ammunition to say what we can do, what we can't do, and how we can spend tax dollars. This is very, very important right now. So I am going to read verbatim Clause 1. Are you guys ready? The Congress of the United States, I added that part. It's just the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, to pay the debts, and to provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States, semicolon. This is important. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. Clause 2, to borrow money on the credit of the United States. Clause 3, to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribes. Clause 4, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies and throughout the United States. Clause 5, to coin money. That's the money printer going brr. Clause 5, to coin money, regulate the value thereof and of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures. Why is that one important, Bell? The standard of weights and measures. So that when you pay the gas station for 1 gallon of gas, we guarantee that 1 gallon of gas comes out of the pump. Not saying that they would short you, but I guarantee you that they would. Clause 6, to provide for the punishment of counterfeiting the securities and current coin of the United States. Clause 7, to establish post offices and post roads. Now, personally, I think they should have added on a little bit to that, not to exceed X, Y, and Z, but they didn't. What it says right now is Clause 7, to establish post offices and post roads. Clause 8, to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. Folks, that's called a patent. Clause 9, to constitute tribunals inferior to the superior court. We call these lower courts. Clause 10, to define and punish piracies and felonies committed on the high seas and offenses against the law of nations. Now, I've always found this one very interesting, Bell. If there's one thing that the entire world seems to agree with, it's that piracy on the high seas is bad, and it will be met with swift justice. We've all agreed on this. Throughout the history of mankind, we've all agreed that these guys are dicks. Clause 11, to declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and make rules concerning captures on land and water. Clause 12, to raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for a longer term than 2 years. Why is that relevant? Because every 2 years, the military spending bill comes up every time, even though this country does not have a budget bill, and we haven't passed one for years. Because nowhere in this does it say that we have to have one. But Clause 12 exists. So every 2 years, we have to fund the military and fund pet projects. That's why that comes up time and again. Clause 13, to provide and maintain a Navy, and I'm giving a round of applause on that one because as a 26-year Navy vet, thank you for feeding us. It's important. Clause 14, to make rules for the government and regulation of the land and naval forces. This is called the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And this sucks. for military members. Because if we fuck up, not only is the civilian court going to have their day with us, but before that happens, the UCMJ has their day with us. We don't like that, but it is what it is. Clause 15, to provide for calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions, and to invade Greenland. All right, I didn't write Clause 15. I'm just saying that's what it says. So Greenland, you guys better buckle up. Clause 16, to provide for organizing, arming, and disciplining the militia, and for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving to the states respectively the appointment of the officers and the authority of training the militia according to the discipline prescribed by Congress. Clause 17, the exercise exclusive. Clause 17, to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district, not exceeding 10 miles square, as may, by cession of particular states and the acceptance of Congress, become the seat of the government of the United States, and to exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be, for the erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings. The implied powers. The final clause, necessary and proper clause, is the source of the implied powers of Congress. That is important to know. Necessary and proper. Clause 18, to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department or officer thereof. Now, the reason that I mention this and the reason that I come back to this so much, Bell, is because people say, where's the money going? Now, the interesting part of Article 1, Section 8, which I just read verbatim, all of it, this is the only purpose of the federal government. Everything else they do has been assumed to be necessary and proper, but it's never been voted on. Now, the fact that I need federal authority and a federal stamp to replace my toilet with a different toilet in my own land, on my own property, that I pay for, that I pay taxes for to the state of Iowa, but I need the federal stamp on that toilet to say that I can install it. I just read you everything in Article 1, Section 8, all of it. Now, I did not read anything about toilets or about digging a well on my own property or anything that would be considered necessary and proper. So if you guys want to know why we are such privacy advocates, it's because if you look at what the government is doing now versus what they are legally authorized to do, you might see that there's a problem. Now, we can keep waiting for this shit to just work itself out. We can do that. We can just simply wait for the people of the United States to rise up and say, you fuckers haven't even read the Constitution. You swear an oath to it, but odds are good you don't even know how many amendments are in it. If I had one question for my little darling AOC, that's what I would ask her. Simple. Give me the mic. How many amendments are in the Constitution of the United States? Do you think she could answer it?
No.
No. How can that
No.
be, Belle? She is literally a congresswoman, the congresswoman, the star child. She is literally that which everything else should emulate. Are you telling me she doesn't know how many amendments are in the Constitution of the United States of America, Belle? Is that what you're saying?
I doubt it.
No.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of a problem with this. But This is where blockchain technology, and I told you I'd get it back around to this, guys. This is why I embrace the ethos of blockchain technology so much. Because most people don't know, don't care, and are not going to do anything, even if their rights are being violated. So Bell and I sat down years ago and said, what if it wasn't up to them? What if it wasn't up to the government? What if we could simply let people live and let live without government intervention or government snooping or any other alphabet agency dipping their toes into what you say, how you say it, or whom you say it to? What if something like that could exist, Bell? And that was the beginning of Sigia Cloud Labs. I read it to you guys. Do you think the government is spending your money wisely? This is coming up because I got a hunch a whole bunch of money is about to be heading into Greenland, which will be funny. Oh, my God, I'll dine on that. We'll literally do a political stream there, Bell, and it'll be called the Green New Deal. I cannot wait for that to occur.
Can we undergo the process to receive a letter of marque, because then we are legally allowed to become pirates, but in that case we are called privateers.
Yes, and we can go out and hunt pirates and drug runners and all that other good stuff. I'm surprised that they're, with all the Venezuela shit, I'm actually surprised that haven't started issuing letters of marque. Why not? Why waste our own? Let these guys go and do it. Tell them we'll pay you $10,000 a head, man. You bring us a heads. Heads in a duffel bag. Yeah, man, go out there, go to town, man. See what can happen over there. I got to issue it. It's been this way throughout human history. Or let me rephrase that. Throughout organized human history, it's always kind of been this way. All right, you don't need government to take care of every goddamn thing when you can simply give a letter of marque to motivated individuals who will go out there and do it on your behalf. I've never quite got that. I know we got off from crypto, guys, but we haven't done politics in a long time, and I'm very passionate about it.
And that is an interesting little tidbit. Okay, according to Britain, when the U.S. declared war for independence, anyone on our side was a pirate. Anyone on their side was a privateer.
Yeah,
they had those letters of marque.
Yes, and they could have fucked us right into the ground, but France stepped up. Thank you, France. Thank you for protecting the high seas for the Continental Congress and the American Revolution. We appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, man, if Germany ever invades again, we got you, babe. All right, we're there. I'm going to say that right now, and I believe that's pretty accurate. If Germany determines that World War III is necessary, because they kind of had a pretty strong hand in World War I and II, if they decide to do it again, I don't see how that's possible with the immigration laws as they have set. You know what? So. But they got a hard line PM over there now. They're up there. She's up there fucking rattling the sabers, man. So I'm kind of interested. I'm very interested to see how that's going to work out. All right. Anyway, I know we're coming to the end of this, Bell. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns, or observations, or is everybody just kind of dumbfounded after hearing Article 1, Section 8? Is that where we're at?
All right, so Idiot Fish chiming in, going, FPV drones could make for some nasty pirates.
Yeah, it's funny, man. My very last year, my very last deployment was with JSOC over in Africa, Joint Service Special Operations Command, and yeah, we had a lot of drones. You should be terrified. Anybody out there should be terrified of what those things can do. I'm looking at this thing on a 60-foot video wall. That is 60 feet by 60 feet, man. This thing is big. And I'm looking at all this stuff saying, damn, that's it. That's what went through my head every day when I assumed the watch. I just walked in there and went, damn, you guys are fucked. You are so fucked. All right. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
All right, so JKK 8609, Green New Deal, laugh out loud.
Is that not funny? Thank you.
It's hysterical.
Tip of the hat to Jeff, man. That wasn't me that came up with that. Jeff sent it to me. Jeff's not that creative, so I'm sure he heard it somewhere. But boy, that is double funny, man, because I haven't heard that one. And I was like, yeah, that's the way to go with that. There literally is no other way to go. Please let this happen. Not that I'm eager for us to acquire Greenland and more, territory and bases that we have to build. But that is just the funny from that is that'll resonate throughout everything. They said we showed you the real Green New Deal, and I'm eager to see that come to pass. Anyway, carry on, Bell.
All right, GD Cheerios being so proud of himself, going, okay, he's in number one as far as the chat ranking goes. So he's going, okay, the points are coming in.
Yeah, but you haven't tipped us, dude. You haven't tipped Bell. Even $1. I can't remember the last time I heard that notification that somebody tipped you something. It's been a long, long time.
It has.
We're not hitting you guys up for money. I know you're all broke. You're in crypto, so I know you guys are hammered right now. For the Jackalites, for the Jackal community members, be of good cheer. Be of good cheer. We're going to get some folks on tomorrow. We're going to get some of the Jackal team on tomorrow. We're going to have, not Jackal team, I'm sorry, because I don't think they're coming on. I will send Patrick an invite. How well do you think that would go over, all things considered right now, Bell? How funny would that be? I mean, oil and, we're just, that would be combustible. But yeah, we'll get the Sigia Cloud team on tomorrow. We're just going to have a little frank discussion. There'll be a bunch of us. So it'll be an
Chaos.
It'll be chaos, but it'll be an interesting stream. We like to talk about what we're doing and what we can do. That's literally what excites me more now than anything else is what we can do with blockchain technology. And I'll tell you.
Oh, and Braden, being the smartass that he is, just hit us with the $1 super chat to get on his boss's
Just
good
to get
side.
there you go.
Yeah, say that all the time.
You ain't got a tipper, bro. All right, but I certainly do appreciate it. All right, Bell.
He was already at number one.
I know. Well, now he's at super number one or ultra number one. The guy looks exactly like McLovin. He looks like Gilligan. It is glorious. I cannot believe that you can't use Bob Denver and Gilligan to get laid. I'm a little bit shocked that you don't lean into that. I'm going to help you, son. All right, I'm going to help you. I got this. Bell, please carry on.
All right, so JKK 8609, Trump wants Greenland so he can rename it Orange Land. Orange Man bad. Orange Land bad.
I don't care, man. You know what? We spend out here as talking heads, and Bell and I are political talking heads, and we've been doing this for a long time. We've never changed our opinion on anything. We're deep libertarians, man. I don't trust government. Don't want them in my life. Anything I can do to separate myself from government, I'm going to do. And anything I can do to separate your personally identifiable information and your personal data from government, we've already done it. SigiaCloud.io, or hit us up for the app, bro. I really don't care, and there's really nothing we can do to stop it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not, it's not. I personally think it's one of the most epic trolls that has ever really gone out. I think there's no way anybody reasonable would look at this and say, oh, yeah, you bet we're going to buy Greenland. It's not going to happen, man. But I'll tell you what, it's double funny. And the world needs more comedy. This feeds right into that. It is absolutely glorious. Bell, do you got anything you want to add?
You know, this whole thing stinks of, okay, so all great stories start with no shit, there we were. This screams of a story that goes, hey, Carl, hold my beer.
Watch us. Yeah, and
winds up being a no shit, there I was story.
And I don't think you're kidding. I think you're likely accurate there. He was coming out of the can and he said, you know what? I want to buy Greenland. I wonder how much they would sell it to me for. And the next thing you know, here we are. And people are taking this shit seriously. It is hysterical. And I never like to, sound that out phonetically, but I think it's necessary in this case. It is hysterical.
I think that's close to what actually happened.
Probably.
And because he's President Donald Trump, he can do that.
Oh my God, the shit. That's why I can never get elected, Bell. Could you imagine the shit that I would do? I would tweet random things at random times just to gauge the reaction. It would be glorious. It would be glorious.
Yeah, that means that every every electronic device, the Secret Service would have to screen you for every electronic device and take it away from you.
Oh, they would, because I would tweet out something stupid like, I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale. I think there's a lot of value in that. I would literally just tweet that out. And look, you know what the blowback from that would be? It would be glorious. It would be epic. I would be dining on that shit.
You already try and do stuff like that. So no.
It would be so funny. There's a lot of truth to The Handmaid's Tale. Maybe we need to get back to something like this, or maybe we need to institute it. Could you imagine the explosion that would come from that? That would be it. It would dominate. There would be no other news. No, you'd get weather, sports, and Handmaid's Tale blowback. That's all you would get. And you bet your ass I would do that, because I'm on the can. I'm not doing anything, and I'm gonna tweet. I swear that's where this whole thing started from. Just like that. He was on the chitter and he said, "Yeah, I think I'll buy Greenland." And next thing you know, here we are discussing it.
We can actually thank God that your potty time is much, much, much shorter than it used to be, but it does not take long to send a tweet.
Yeah, I could get it done. I'm about 30 seconds down and done, man. It's I don't eat carbs or sugar anymore. I've lost a lot of weight. I feel real good. But yeah, my potty time is just gone, man. It's like 30 seconds. It's over. I'm depressed. I'm like, this used to be my time. You know, you lock the door, nobody can get to you. The dog, the pets, the kids, everybody just stays out there, and it's your own little domain. And it's all gone now, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm done. What am I supposed to do here now? So I play Family Guy, little mobile game. That's it. That's all I would do. I'm literally bored. Anyway, Belle, do we got anything else? Because I see that we're over time.
All right. So new type. I think he looked at Miss Greenland of 2024 and said, "Gimme."
Did you see her? Did you see her? I was under the impression, because I think they're under kind of the control or the influence of the Netherlands, right? I think that's who kind of has political or cultural sway over them. I thought they'd be blonde, and virtually every single one that walked out was like a deep brunette all the way down. But you might be onto something there. He looked at that and said, "Damn." And I've seen all those tweets, and they say, "What do you notice about this?" And the thing I notice most about it is that none of them that are up there in the competition, none of them have a penis. That was my biggest takeaway, is that they all seem to be female, meaning ovaries and not testicles. So I was like, yeah, man, they're actually doing it right. Belle, there's something like that. All right. Anyway, get back to it, Belle.
All right. So Idiot Fish, the dog sleds for security jokes are epic.
I would re-enlist just for that, so I could be a dog sled commander. I don't know what the specialty badge would look like on my uniform, but I fucking want it. You bet I want it. I think Hoth is a more accurate scenario. I think that would be a funnier meme, is the ice planet of Hoth and the rebellion there. I think that would be more accurate. That's why I thought that Marco Rubio thing was so goddamn funny. I was like, you know what? I don't think they're too far off. There were big puffy hats, and you've seen Empire Strikes Back. So I think that there could be some there. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
All right, JKK 8609. I like the sound of Orange Land. Rename the capital Orange Lamb Badstan.
Orange Land Badistan. I think that's probably where he was going for. Some kind of stand.
Yeah.
I don't think that they have a very strong Muslim community over there in Greenland. But I've never been there, man. 26 years in the military, man. I think I've stepped foot on effectively every continent. I have touched Antarctica, but I've never been to the Arctic. So I can say that I've hit 6 of 7 continents that exist, but I've never set foot in Greenland. It just never came up. So I can't say with a surety that they don't have a strong stan. You know where I'm going with that. I don't think they have a strong stan influence, but I don't know, man. Give them time. Give them time. I'm sure it will all be stan. We'll be America stan. Give it enough time. I think we're all going to be there. But anyway, carry on, Belle. I've already gotten in enough trouble.
Just on that little bit, bit of trivia. Did you guys know that the same mountain range that runs through eastern Tennessee also ran through Scotland at one point? So all those active volcanoes and stuff that Greenland and Iceland have, they're part of that same chain.
Are we talking like back in Gaia when we were all like one giant landmass that just split apart? Pangea, I'm sorry. Gaia. I'm sure I got that from Foundation. Isaac Asimov's Foundation. I'm a big fan. But do you think, sure, it makes sense to me. I can't prove otherwise. I really don't care. But that is an interesting tidbit, Belle. You know why she mentioned that? You know why she mentioned that? Because she's from Tennessee. She's a Tennessee girl. And we go down to Tennessee on occasion. And every time we do, all of a sudden, she has an accent. Isn't that funny how that works? As soon as she's back in the environment, she's back in the hive mind of Tennessee in the South. All of a sudden, she's like, hey. By the way, that's what a gay horse eats, Belle. Hey.
I've never pronounced hey like that. Yeah, so you guys know.
Every time we go down to Tennessee, I swear I'm going to record it for you. It's going to say, Belle, go say hi. And she's going to go, hey, every time. It's hilarious. Go ahead, Belle.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, yeah. That's actually it for tonight.
Perfect. Then I can go ahead and talk. Belle's going to talk us up and take us out. I'm going to have my closing words. We're going to get the Sigia Cloud team on tomorrow. So if you guys have Sigia Cloud questions, we're going to be available. If you want to know where we're going, we're available. If you want to know what else we can do, we are goddamn well available. Now, what I would love is for you guys to ask questions saying, can Sigia Cloud be made to do this? Because we will have our developers on. We will have our our board of directors is going to be on. We're all here. So I would love some stuff like that because we can't see 360 degrees. But everybody else that's part of this audience can. All right, a whole bunch of eyes are better than just two eyes. It just is what it is. So I would love to hear some questions like that. If you want to know how we will be, what we will be doing with Jackal and the token, what we will be doing with a cash and the token and all that other good stuff. Tomorrow night's going to be a really, really good night to bring that up. And we will mention it in the Discord. I'll mention it on X, and we'll see if anybody's paying attention. But from what I've seen out there, and what I continue to do, because you guys know I live on crypto Twitter, which is basically a ghost town right now. Nobody's doing what we're doing. We love First Mover, and we're going to take full advantage of it. You guys can help. Anyway, going to turn it over to Belle. Hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Belle is going to talk us up, take us out. Belle, do your thing.
All right. So, Braden, before you panic too much, okay, I get that you got to watch your brother from 9:30 to 12:30 tomorrow. Show's at 6. So breathe.
You're fine. Shut up. You're going to be on the show.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Now, with that being said, we are going to be live again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and then, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott@thepodcast.com or Bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't say thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time. And Braden, I will message you the answers to all of your questions because I can see you nonstop typing.
Go to bed, little man. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Lick, lick, lick my balls. Yeah, say that all the time.